I see logic as a way of formalizing patterns of inference that work. And the patterns of inference that work, what we usually mean by that is patterns of inference that preserve truth, which is found in the premises, into the conclusion. So the idea is, if the premises are true, then you want the inferential pattern to ensure that the conclusion is true. And so logic as a discipline is largely focused around formalizing the inferential patterns that reliably preserve any truth in the premises into the conclusion.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Douglas Hofstadter, don't know if I'm bastardizing his name, his book Gödel, Escher, Bach, which explored Gödel's work and Escher's work and Bach's work, but in terms of logic. And you read it?
I'm in the middle of reading it, but I really love the style of the book. It's very clever, and it's a work of art, really. Much more than it is like a straightforward discussion of the subject matter. It's very much like a sort of a circumspect tour throughout many different examples and ways of illustrating the ideas that are sort of the essence of the book. But I really enjoy what I've read so far, and I definitely think it's the sort of book that everyone should read once, because it's just very comprehensive in the scope of what it treats.
Yeah. And there's a sense from the book, at least I haven't read it for a while, but I remember thinking this afterwards, that the act of formalizing in some way creates its own problems. Like there's a sense that the formalizing is like a generalizing of rules, right? Of trying to capture something.
Yeah, and making explicit of them,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you look at maths, it can be formalized, but you can just see it as like a tautology, like Wittgenstein saw math as an empty tautology. And there's a sense that it's sort of abstracting something. Like it's not the thing in itself. It's like this attempt at capturing the laws and rules of that thing, which might be embedded in some way. But again, it's just like maybe there's something about the map is not the territory, or there's something lost. I'm curious about that thing that is lost.